My number one worry when I got married to Michelle was that I was going to be an absentee father when we had kids. I love to work. I love what I do, but you can't be working 12 hours a day when you have kids and a family. So I did a deep dive into the productivity systems of billionaires and millionaires to figure out what were the time management strategies that allowed the most successful people to not only make a ton of money, but also have a lot of free time. Hi, I'm Craig Valentine, the host of Early to Rise Radio, and today I'm going to give you my best and most favorite. Listen, I'm an old dad. I didn't have my first kid until I was 45. And so time is even more of a premium to me. And so I realized that if you want to be a millionaire, you got to act like a billionaire when it comes to your time. You need to be ruthless about every minute of the day so that you get the most out of it. And so if you're not acting like a billionaire and instead you want to be a millionaire, but you have middle class habits, those are going to be holding you down. And we're going to talk about the power of ruthless elimination and subtraction, which is the key to discipline. You get discipline through subtraction the most, and that's how you get the most out of the habit changes that will give you the time back in your life. So let's do a deep dive into like 5 or 6 of the most important billionaire time management strategies that work for me. The first thing you need is billion-dollar boundaries. So when you think about your day right now, if you're working 12 hours, 11 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours, if you're working too much, essentially, it's because you don't have the boundaries in your day, the non-negotiable cutoffs, the end times that must be hit for meetings, for calls, for projects, for writing emails to your list, even for your workouts. If you're just going with a start time for something, but not an end time, that's where the mission creep comes in, right? We go to a meeting, it's like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, meeting start. Well, what time's it end? I don't know, whenever we're done. If that's how you approach your day, then you are definitely losing it to a lot of fluff, right? You get into a meeting with no end time, and therefore there's no urgency. You get into a call where there's no deadline, and it could go on forever. But if you go in advance, well prepared with a boundary, and you say, hey, I've got 20 minutes to chat with you at 11 o'clock on Friday, everybody's well prepared and not a minute is going to be wasted. Everybody's going to do more preparation in advance so they come prepared and you're going to stick to it. And so billionaires really, really respect their time and it can work. Now I know what you're thinking that, oh my goodness, no one will get on a call with me if I say I only have 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Oof, who am I? I'm going to sound like some pompous jerk. No, you're not. If Tony Robbins said, yeah, I can jump on a call with you for 7 minutes at 11:13 a.m. on Thursday, you wouldn't say, oh man, only 7 minutes with Tony Robbins. No, you'd be like, man, I got 7 minutes with Tony Robbins. And so you need to have that mental shift in your mindset about the status of your time so that when you say in advance, I have this specific amount of time at this specific time on this specific day, people will respect you more and show up better prepared, no fluff, no wasting your time and stealing it from your kids. Now, this also applies to you putting a boundary on your workday. And I first learned this when I was hanging out with my good friend Bedros Keuilian. So Bedros Keuilian and I used to run something called the Empire Mastermind. And we would have our mastermind meetings on Tuesday and Wednesday of the week because Bedros traveled a lot on Thursday and Friday. And on Wednesday, Bedros also had date night. So at 5 o'clock, the mastermind had to end and he had to kick me out of his car. Well, even if we were going down the highway in Chino Hills, be like, get out of the car. It's 5 o'clock. I got to go get Diana for date night. He had that hardcore boundary. And I looked at him and I went, man, this guy has 500 franchisees in Fit Body Bootcamp. He has 55 employees back at HQ. And this guy can set a hardcore deadline at 5 p.m. If he can do it, everybody can do it. We just need to have the mental fortitude and inner strength to set a hard boundary for our day and know that at this certain time of day, all work stops. And when you have that boundary, what does it do to the rest of your day? It makes it more efficient, right? You don't go, man, I can work till 9 o'clock tonight. So, maybe I'll go look at this online and, do a little bit more research here, watch a couple of YouTube videos. No, that's what's called Parkinson's law. The time for the task expands to fill the time allotted for it. So if you say I can work all day, I can work till 9 or 10 or 11 o'clock at night, you'll take 6 hours to finish a project that you can get done in 90 minutes if you have a tighter deadline. So cut your deadlines, set hard work boundaries, and have non-negotiable cutoffs for your calls, your meetings, and interactions with other people. And the world will stop stealing your time. They'll treat you like a billionaire, not just a millionaire. The next thing you need to do in order to make your boundaries stay true and stay strong is to have billionaire better planning and preparation. I discovered this back when I was a personal trainer, that if somebody wants to achieve a goal and they've tried in the past and they go out and actually achieve it this time, there's a common factor that happens in every single person who finally achieves a goal that they've been trying to get time and time again. And it all came down to better planning and preparation than ever before. So think about somebody who wants to lose 30 pounds. The first time they do it, they don't know they have to do meal prep. They don't know how to do proper shopping. They don't have any workout plan. They have no planning at all. And so what happens? Of course, they fail. Nobody will succeed when there's no plan. The next time when they do it, they'll maybe go to the grocery store and make some better choices. They might get a recipe book and maybe they'll download a workout. That's okay. They'll get some results, but they won't stick with it. It's only when they go, Sunday is meal prep day. So we go to the grocery store Sunday morning. We buy all of this stuff from a very detailed list. We take it home. We cook it up. We put it in Tupperware. We prepared the Tupperware. We bought it in advance. We have shelf space in the fridge. And then we go and we get a workout plan from a coach who's going to hold us accountable. And we check in with that coach every single day on our workouts. That's when you finally succeed. It's the same as in business. The first business you started, you didn't have a plan, it failed. The second business, you had a bit of experience, you had a bit of a plan. You may have gotten ahead, maybe made some money. It wasn't until you finally built a really strong plan, you had a 90-day blueprint that we teach our clients and help them follow through on, that you're finally able to make the transitions in your business. In fact, we have most of our clients when they go through it, like Dr. John Tate, he's a doctor out in Arizona. He'll achieve his 90-day plan in 60 days because it's so detailed and bulletproof. And we hear that time and time again. But if you don't have a plan, if you don't do better planning and preparation for your days, then you're going to be giving away your time to people, to distractions, and you're going to be stealing it from your kids. So what you have to do is every single afternoon is prepare for tomorrow. If you're waking up in the morning and doing your to-do list, you're already too late. Now you're using the best time of day when you have the greatest willpower, discipline, and intention to figure out what to do. That's a major loss. Instead, what billionaires would do is they would plan tomorrow today. In fact, I read this guy's biography, a guy named Ted Rogers. He was the Canadian Ted Turner. So Ted Turner was a billionaire in the cable industry in the United States. Ted Rogers was a billionaire in the cable industry and the phone industry in Canada. And he said, we won every negotiation because we were the best prepared team in the negotiation. That's why he always won. So being the best prepared person when it comes to your time is going to save you a ton of time. It's going to free up a ton of time for you. And it's going to make all of the time that you do devote to work that much more effective. So what we teach our clients to do is a end of day brain dump. And then from the brain dump, you make a priority to-do list. And from that priority to-do list, you do some process planning, which means you do a little bit of work now to grease the groove so that your subconscious mind works on it overnight. And then you wake up in the morning and you crush your number one priority. And if you do that, you can get a full day of work done in 90 minutes just by better planning and preparation alone. So that is probably the game changer. If I had to pick one thing that ensures you get more done, better planning and preparation than ever before. The next thing you need to do is go through my billionaire time matrix. And I stole this from studying billionaires like Steve Jobs and Oprah Winfrey. So Steve Jobs had a great quote. He said, we don't hire great people and tell them what to do. We hire great people so they tell us what to do. And this goes to the first question that I ask all of my clients in the billionaire time matrix was, what is not your job? What are you doing in your business that you should not be doing because somebody else is hired to do it? Well, you got to fire yourself. Firing yourself in your business is one of the most freeing things that you can possibly do. And you should do this not only on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis, but a weekly basis. At the end of the week, ask yourself, what did I do this week that is not my job? And where should I be fired? Because think about it. Let's say you're doing your bookkeeping. Well, are you really that great of a bookkeeper? If I hired you for a bookkeeper in my business, how long would you last? You'd probably be fired within 48 hours. In my business. And yet you've hired yourself to be your bookkeeper for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And you wonder why your bookkeeping takes so long and it's done so poorly and your taxes are all messed up. It's because you're a crappy bookkeeper. Fire yourself. Fire yourself from video editing. Fire yourself from tech help and tech support in your company. That's not your job. And that's the key of the billionaire time matrix, is to figure out what's not your job and to delegate it to somebody else who's better at that job than you. And every single time you keep on stacking a better person into a role in your company will make more money without as much work. And that will transfer into your personal income and your personal time management. So the first thing to do is think, what is not my job? The second thing to think about is, what do I hate doing? What causes me stress and anxiety that I have to go and do it? And then figure out how you can automate it, delegate it, or eliminate it. Because if you have an hour-long task that you hate doing, It's probably 3 hours of your work week because you spend an hour hating it in advance, an hour doing it, and then an hour of mental energy hating it after. You must automate, delegate, and eliminate what you hate so it frees up your time. The third thing you need to ask is, what should I stop doing? What should I stop doing? And nobody should be given this role, this task, this activity, because it doesn't move our business ahead. There's a lot of stuff that you're doing that no one should do. And so you have to figure out what should be stopped in your business. And then you go to the next person in your company and you say, what are you doing right now that is not moving the needle in this business, that really does not need to be done? And there's a lot of stuff, a lot of time-filling activities that so many people are doing. It's better that they don't bill you any hours at all than to do work that is meaningless. So what should be stopped? And then finally, the fourth thing in the time matrix is, what is your distraction? Where are you wasting time? Pull out your phone, look at your screen time. How many hours do you spend on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook every single week? And your goal is to cut back on the time you spend wasting on that social media. So you have something to shoot for and aim for in terms of personal improvement and performance. Finally, the last thing that I noticed about billionaires is they have what I call magic time. Other people call it deep work, but I call it magic time, which is a time of day that you're 3 times more creative, productive, and energetic than any other time of day. And here's the billionaire secret. What most people do, the middle class, is that they fill all day long with useless stuff. And it doesn't matter if it's their magic time or a time of day when they're almost brain dead, it doesn't matter what activity that they'll do because they don't see the connection between doing the most important work inside your magic time. But billionaires know that when they're in the flow, they must do the hardest things. And so your job is to do ruthless self-reflection and introspection to identify the magic time, the time of day when you are more creative, productive, and energetic than any other time of the day. Your next step is to make sure that you ruthlessly protect it. You block it off. No meetings, no emails, no phone calls, no errands, no workouts inside of your magic time. Because that's the time of day you can get 3 times more done, maybe even 5 times more done than any other time of day. I know that for me, between 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., I can get 5 times more work done than if I tried to do the same work at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And so I must be ruthless about it. That's why I get up so early, because there's no distractions. I'm really wired, fired up, and in the flow. For example, today I was up and from 4 until 6:30, I wrote nearly 7,000 words of scripts, sales pages, video ads. I couldn't have done that in 3 days if I worked between 1 and 4 p.m. So knowing your magic time will set you free. And then making sure that you put your hardest activity inside your magic time and do the deep work on it. And when you do that, it is so liberating. It's going to dramatically increase your income. You won't have to work as many hours because you're in a work time where you get more done. Well, that's why I call it magic time. And once you understand it, once you protect it, once you foster it, it's going to set you free. So those are the billionaire time management strategies that will help any busy business owner, particularly a busy business owner who has kids and want to spend more time with their family and doesn't want to be an absentee father. I have a client named Adam Pearson. He was working 6 days per week. He was having panic attacks at the dinner table. When he came to me, he had no strategy, no plan for fixing those problems. And we put in place the 90-day blueprint. We gave him the 8 formula. And what we were able to help him do was to double his business as an accountant from $1 million to $2 million while helping him take every Friday afternoon off. It was freeing. He's so relaxed. He's living the dream right now. I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs, even Bedros Keuilian, to work less and make more money using these billionaire time strategies. And when you apply them into your life, it will set you free. It will give you a greater income. You will do it in fewer hours, which means you have more time for what matters, your family. I've written an entire book on this and it saved me so much time. It saved me so much stress and anxiety, and I want to give you a free copy. It's called The Perfect Week Formula. Just comment the word week down below and I'll send it to you for free.